Want to open the show sometime?
You all right?
I'm ready for the thing to go away and then for our faces to show up.
Oh, my bad.
There you go. I'm like, we're going to go extra long with the song today?
My bad.
I was just waiting. I was like, we're just going to stay this long.
Yeah, I was distracted. I was trying to do some show prep and yeah.
Then One Empty Podcast, covered by Sherrod. We were here Saturday. We're here today. NFL is what it does. Playoff time. Of course, I was tweeting all yesterday about the horrible refereeing. So we're on Facebook, IG, and the Twitter. And of course, you can follow us on StreamYard and YouTube. And of course, we're on Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you find podcasts. You will find the NY2MD podcast. So, Mr. Brian, sir, before we start off with games yesterday, I want to know if you were at the airport, what would be your first question to Novak Djokovic as he takes the plane back home from the Australian Open? Because he's unvaccinated. And they pulled his visa.
Say what? What was that saying?
Oh, because he's unvaccinated and they pulled his visa. What would you say?
Well, I mean, if I'm at the airport with him, I was like, man, are you gonna wear your mask on this flight? That's what I'm gonna ask him.
I think that's a very good first question.
Yeah.
My first question would be, Mr. Djokovic, I know you're going for a record. You were going for the record-breaking number 22 singles title to pass Nadal and Federer. But my question to you, sir, what makes you think you're special? Or I'm sorry, who you think you is? How about that? And this again, there's two guys who have totally destroyed themselves within my whole universe. There's people who love Federer. They love Federer. People who love Nadal. And then I was a Djokovic guy.
Yep.
I don't like him. He's done. He's done. Rogers is still iffy. I don't know if Djokovic was listening to Joe Rogan's health podcast or something on Spotify too. I don't know. I'm done. I just feel like I'm done. Like I lost all types of. If everybody there and the prerequisite to enter or go somewhere is that they need you to do this, stay home. You're not special. And I'm glad they said to him, even though it took a little bit longer, that you're not special. Take your bags and go home.
So what happened exactly?
So the Australian Open is due to open up this week.
Okay.
So he wanted to go there to defend his title.
Okay.
So he can travel there, but he's unvaccinated. So they can pull his work visa or whatever it is that they need to get in there and whatever, because in Australia's been very tight with their policies and everything. So he is unvaccinated. Now, he said he's had COVID twice, which I guess is for him, like, well, I had it twice, so I should be able to get in there. Like, you can't get it the third time. I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Right.
It's like having a chicken pox twice. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. So he wanted to go there and defend his title. So he had to go in like a quarantine hotel. And then they fought in the courts for a little bit. And the judge threw out his just probably 12 hours ahead. So maybe earlier in the morning there. They threw out his last appeal. So get out.
So he cannot come there unless he's vaccinated.
Yeah.
He cannot work there unless he's vaccinated.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, when you go to whole another country / continent, you have to abide by their rules. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
and you're there for days. And you got to travel around and you're unvaccinated. You're just a constant risk. Period.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean, dude, you gotta. I mean, if those are the rules, you gotta abide by the rules. I mean, it is what it is, right?
You're not freaking special. You're not.
Right.
I can't. Oh, this irked my whole side. This dude was like, you know what, Djokovic is my guy. I said, well, they said he's disappointed. Who cares?
Well, we're disappointed, so that makes two of us. Because you knew that going in there, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is, dude. We're in a pandemic. You know, governments, countries are taking precautions as they see fit. If you don't want to abide by it, then you can't play. It's that simple. I mean, it's really quite simple. So,
yeah. So, see ya.
Peace.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
Deuces.
So, in saying goodbye to Djokovic from the Australian Open, we also are saying goodbye to an old friend, Brad. I know you might be a little bit melancholy about this, and I know I'm not. But maybe you might have fond memories. But that wall at Orioles Stadium, Camden Yards, it's a moving. Not only it's a moving, I think it's getting higher and it's going further back.
Oh, it's getting higher?
I think it's getting higher. I think. I'm
not. Oh, you might be right, because I'm actually, now that I'm looking at this picture. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Huh, interesting. Yeah, so they decided to move the fences back at Camden Yards. How do you feel about this, Hurt?
I feel overjoyed because it robbed us of probably two victories.
Yeah, we've seen firsthand
knowledge.
Yes, I mean, we were at what game was that, dude? The infamous Matt Wieters home run. I just remember we were sitting in
the infamous Matt Wieters infield pop fly.
Yes, because we were sitting on that side. We were sitting on the left field side of the stadium, and Matt Wieters literally, like, no exaggeration, he hit a pop up.
Oh, it was a pop up. There was no doubt. This was
a pop up. That ball carried in the air. It seemed like for 5 minutes.
I think either the force was involved, an actual Oriole bird was involved.
Yeah.
Or it's in the harbor, so maybe a pigeon or something. I don't know. But that ball literally hung. That was probably the longest wait for a home run ball I've ever seen.
Yeah. And the kicker is that when it cleared the fence, it wasn't even like it was in the first row. You know what I mean? It was still like 5 to 10 rows deep.
Yeah, like 5 rows back.
Like how was that pitch?
How did it even get out of the infield?
Right.
Let alone clear the wall by like 5 rows.
Yes. So these what we have on the screen are the new dimensions of the ballpark. It's like, yeah, that field. Yes, you're right. The wall is definitely higher, and it's 30 feet back. Actually, not quite 30 feet. I think it's more like 26 feet, which I think that's way more fair. Way more fair, man, because some of those home runs, man, was just
Were cheap.
Yeah, it was just so unfair.
Not just that one, just in general. That ball was way too close.
Yeah.
And just watching some of this Oriole games, it was just someone could do like a half swing and that ball's out over there. Now, it is harder to hit it from the left-hand side down right field, where the warehouse is and everything. But, I mean, of course, if you hit it correctly, it will go. But that ball...
Yeah, but at least the right field dimensions are comparable to other stadiums. Like Yankees.
Ball's higher.
Yeah, the ball's higher, and it's a lot more comfortable. I mean, you could look at the Red Sox right down their line. I mean, that's crazy. The Yankees, their right field line is crazy. They have a wind stream, and you get it in that jet stream. I mean, those balls just shoot out of there. So, but left field was just a joke. So, I am glad. I think this is fair, and I think this is going to help the pitchers out, man. This is long overdue. So I am happy.
Yeah, no, it's good. That means we shouldn't, when we come and play the Orioles again, we don't have to worry about the shenanigans that go on.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, again, and maybe this year I might actually, if we play each other, I don't know the schedules, but I might actually go to a game because I missed going to the ones last year. So
okay, all right. Well, that's the only way I'm going is if we go, because I refuse to spend money if this team's not going to spend. I'm happy with what they're doing with the minor league product. We have the number one minor league system in baseball, which is crazy because we haven't had that for over 30 years. So that's fine, but we got to start spending some money on the major league product, and I refuse to go down there until they actually spend a little bit more money. So
gotcha. Well, yeah. Well, I say this all hoping that we actually have a season. So
yeah. But now, if the Mets play and you want to go down, I'll go down. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I mean, because I missed the games last year, so I would definitely like to go.
I'm still shocked you didn't want to go see Ohtani, man. I was like, what?
Yeah, I wasn't going to go see because Ohtani isn't going to cause me to catch COVID. So
that's right.
Yeah, I honestly don't care.
That's right.
King Griffey Jr. came back and he said he's going to eat a candy bar that he's allergic to at half. During the game, I still wouldn't go down that bad boy. Yeah, I don't. Well, for the schedule that I'm looking at, I actually don't think we play each other this year.
No, okay.
But that's all right. I would still go down to Camden Yards for something.
All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe if you guys play Shohei Ohtani and whoever else is on that team, I would definitely go.
All right.
Or Bert be home by 11. Or Wally Joyner, one of those other really, really famous Angels players.
Yeah.
So Nolan Ryan.
What about the guy that's names a fish? And I'm not talking about Tim Salmon.
Oh, they have named after a fish. Not Tim Salmon?
Yeah, the not Tim Salmon guy. He's won a couple MVPs.
Reggie Jackson's not a fish.
Yeah.
I don't know who's the guy you can't see in like. I mean, the fact is, I saw what's that rookie quarterback from Jacksonville? What's his name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor, thank you, Trevor. I saw Trevor in a commercial, and I still don't see this dude in the commercial.
Yeah, I don't know what's. Yeah, you're right. I don't know where this dude is.
I mean, the thing is, they always needed to push him, and they don't, and I don't care anymore because.
All right.
I don't care about him. But what I do care about is all these coaches who were fired last Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever.
Yeah, so this week we had Black Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
How many coaches actually got fired, Hurt?
Well, you're talking about on this week?
No, just in general, yeah.
Like during the season?
No. This week.
I have 6.
See, we had Nagy.
We had Matt Nagy from the Bears.
All right.
We had Zimmerman from Minnesota. So 2 from the same division.
All right.
We have Vic Fangio going from the Broncos.
Right.
Unfortunately, the guy who I wanted to stay, and I'm really hurt that he's gone. And we'll talk about that. Joe Judge is going from the Giants. who Really wanted him to stay. He probably is my favorite Giant coach since like Ray Handley.
Okay.
David Culley was let go, the latest out of this week, actually. I think it was Thursday by the Texans. And the biggest name out of the bunch, to me personally, besides Joe Judge, is Flores from Miami.
Yeah.
So which one of these surprised you the most, and which one of these surprised you the least?
Flores.
Surprised you the least or the most?
No, he surprised me the most. The Matt Nagy thing surprised me the least. He should have been fired 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we don't ever want to wish somebody losing jobs or nothing. Every week, just a caveat. But it's part of the job. You get fired, you get hired. But yes, I agree. Matt Nagy's job should have been gone a minute ago.
Yeah. But Brian Flores and David Culley, they did not deserve to be fired. They did not deserve to be fired.
And you want me to be honest with you, though?
Yep.
Out of the two of them, I feel like Culley got the worst of it.
Yeah.
Because you literally knew the dude he wasn't even a first choice for Houston. Everybody knew from the day he took over that team, the Sean Watson questions were coming his way. And we knew this team was going to be hot garbage. It's going to be hot garbage. There's no Deshaun. The roster's full of whoever's, and they were 4-13 or whatever it was.
Hurt.
What do you expect? I'm sorry, go ahead.
They overperformed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. And they were in some games, too.
Yeah, dude. Houston, this is the thing. We knew, like you said, we knew they were going to be hot garbage. But Houston, one thing you could say about that team is that every week they gave effort, man. Like, there were a lot of games that they were in, like, whoa, this team's losing to Houston, or wow, Houston almost beat that team. Like, Houston came to play. And I think Culley is a big reason for that. And how are you going to fire a guy? You set him up to fail. Like, we knew this. But the thing is, we knew this was going to be like this the first season, right? He was just going to have to take the hits. You know what I mean?
He's going to have to try to steady the ship.
Right.
That's the whole thing. We knew anybody who was coming in there is supposed to be there to try to steady the ship.
Right. But how do you fire a guy 1 year into his coaching career? But when that year you purposely set him up to fail, like you weren't giving him a shot to win, and you knew that. He knew that, right? He knew that. They knew that. And you got more out of this team than you thought.
Yes.
And yet you still fire him? Makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. They told this guy, hey, dude, we're giving you this pile of dog stuff. Do what you got to do with it.
Yep.
And he makes do with it as best he can. He was like, wow, I didn't know you were going to do that. All right. It's better than I thought. But you're still fired. It's just wrong, man. It's just so wrong. It's just wrong. I mean, like I said, I did not expect Houston to perform the way they did this season. And Culley, I gave Culley a lot of credit, man, but just not right. I think there was didn't the player even speak out against this?
Yeah, people. I mean, they were. You got to think. This is a roster that's put together by a general manager who was retained, of course. And like we said, you're starting Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills, who's a rookie, and I think he started like the last 6 games.
And he was starting to get better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think he actually won one of the games. But you can tell that the team was, I'm not saying coming together or whatever, but it was less of a mess. And it's going to take a little bit for you to get through that. But again, and honestly, this is where I have an issue. I know he wasn't their first guy that they really wanted. And as a coach, and maybe even as a black head coach, taking those jobs where you're 7th sometimes isn't safe. But then if you don't take the jobs, you might not get the opportunities that you would in the past. I.e., hello, Eric Bieniemy, whose name I haven't even heard this season for any coaching jobs. Because the last couple of seasons, when Kansas City was rolling all cylinders, his name was everywhere. Now this season, they're 12-5 and they kind of struggled. I haven't even heard him being brought up for an interview. And again, I'm not in everybody's circles of teams because my team has a coach. We're just looking for a name, but I guess we found that. So I haven't heard about but I've heard about the Doug Petersons, Jim Caldwell's going for interviews. I think that it was the Texans or somebody interviewed Hines Ward for what? Interviewed Hines Ward for what? He's a special assistant to the head coach at Florida Atlantic, I think. What are you bringing in Hines Ward for? So I don't know. I don't like. If the team, in my opinion, if he's going, why is Campbell in Detroit still there? I mean, Detroit got rid of a good coach because they thought they were better than their history, I guess.
Yeah.
And where are they? But I've never heard anything. You hear anything about Campbell getting fired or replaced or anything?
Of course not.
No. But this guy goes into this garbage heap. It's not like he had Jared Goff. Jared Goff's still better than Tyrod Taylor. He's better than Davis Mills. And they won, 3 games there?
Yeah. Houston won more games than Detroit.
I mean, come on now. So it's a joke. Now, this only leaves one black head coach currently in NFL. And I'm, as much as I was upset about the Flores thing, I was more upset about this. Because you really threw this guy in a bunch of trash and say, give me a Picasso.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
And he's gone? And I was looking at Zach Taylor, who had a bunch of 6-win seasons at Cincinnati, and they came through, won a division, won a playoff game the first time since 1991. We're in high school. And he was like, if I was at another organization, they probably would have fired me. But they believed in me after 3 seasons, and we got to this point. The whole thing is, why isn't there patience? If you know what you have in your roster, unless you're utterly stupid, and I do believe some of these owners, and I go with Shad Khan down in Jacksonville, Urban Meyer. If you didn't hear the buzz around Urban Meyer, and he's one of the coaches who was fired during the season, him and Gruden, but Urban Meyer, come on. Come on now.
Yeah, some organizations just can't get out of their own way. You know what I mean? The Houston is a dysfunctional organization. The Jacksonville, they've been dysfunctional for a while. And Miami, this next team we're going to talk about, I'm not going to say they're dysfunctional, but they're not. Something's not right in Miami. There's no cohesion in that front office or something. And this just makes this makes no sense. You have Flores, his first season, they said, look, we're trading everybody away. We're not expecting to win. They were trying to tank to get the number 1 pick. I mean, they were trying to. They were openly trying to tank. So that first season's just, whatever. We went to the first game in the Flores era, and it started off with a 59-10 loss. You know what I mean? Like they weren't trying to win.
But a great tailgate.
Yeah. So they weren't trying to win. Now later in that season, though, I think Flores like, no, wait a minute, we got to do something better than this. And they did play better that second half of that season.
Played a lot better.
Yeah. And then last year they had a winning record, just missed the playoffs. This year they won like 8 games in a row. They went from 1-7 to like 8-7. Had a winning. What were they? 9-7 this season, or
9-8.
9-8 this season. So they had 2 winning records. And you're going to fire this guy? Now, apparently might be some personality clashes going on, but I don't know, man.
I think it was a power struggle between him and the general manager, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then, again, I know we both have our Dolphin insiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking about him and Tua didn't like each other. There's been, to me, a plethora of this guy brought you your first 2 back-to-back winning seasons since 2003. This guy brought 2 of the 4 winning seasons ever this owner ever had.
Wow.
Unless he dog cussed my family, and this is coming from a guy whose team has been a mess. I don't care if I don't like the coach. Okay. Again, the biggest person or the biggest example I can give is Steve Spurrier. Everybody knows out of the history of coaches in the history of life, my lifetime, there's no one that I have liked least than Steve Spurrier. Then one day I was minding my business, and this cornball owner, decided, oh, hey, let me hire this guy to be a head coach of my team. Are you kidding me? I've never. You can't get worse than that unless we hired Urban Meyer ourselves. But this guy from that school who hasn't proven himself at all to be a head coach in the NFL. So when he finally quit, he resigned from the golf course. Like I resigned. I mean, that was but I had to root for my team because I bleed burgundy and gold. But I didn't like the guy. But if he won, fine. I don't care. I still wouldn't have liked him, that person. I just wouldn't have liked him.
Right.
I wouldn't care. But if we're winning, I could care less. Because we're winning. Now, if there's a big conflict between people inside, conflict resolution, these people, owners, these people are business leaders, you can't get a mediator, somebody sit down and be like, all right, Chris, Brian, and of course, his name's Brian, so he probably is a hothead a little bit. So you get these 2 together and you sit down and you say, what is the issue? All right, you don't like who you drafted, you wanted more say. This guy, Chris, has been in our organization for a long time. I trust him. You guys, somehow together, they've made it through 2 winning seasons. And 2 seasons where they actually could have made the playoffs. What's the problem? He didn't get along. I don't care who he didn't get along with. Was he angry at Tua because Tua was throwing these, 27 5-yard passes every game? Maybe, but it was also Flores' fault for having 17 offensive coordinators.
Right.
So you figure all that out. But and sometimes things do come at an impasse. Some people don't want to give up. Some people, I've known, like especially in college or other things, or even in the pros where they go to head coach. It's like, listen, we like you, but this defense ain't working. I need you to fire your defensive coordinator, and we need to get something new. And coaches are like, nah, I think he's doing a good job, and that's my boy, and we're in this together. Okay, well, then you're both going. That has happened. So, again, not being in a room, nobody really, really knows. But for me, I'm happy my team had 2 back-to-back 7-win seasons. Like, we're close. To me, so, and that's with Tyler Heineke at quarterback. So, I don't know. Like I said, Flores really frustrated me. David Culley pissed me off, honestly. Everyone else, Joe Judge, personally, I wish he stayed. Vic Fangio, I get Matt Nagy, like you said, should have been gone a long time ago. Zimmerman, the general manager, was more of a surprise to me that both the general manager and the head coach are gone in Minnesota.
Okay. I think Zimmer was on borrowed time too, man.
Yeah, I do. But Spielman has like this sterling reputation, and he has a good roster. It's just maybe paying money to that quarterback, but I'm not going to mention his name today.
Yeah.
But you know how I feel about that quarterback. They were in the playoffs a couple seasons ago. They beat New Orleans because everybody beats New Orleans on the last play of the game. So, you know what I mean?
Man, you were so right about that dude, man. Good Lord.
But yeah, I don't know. So I was a little bit more surprised that was Zimmerman and the GM. So, But in saying that, if Flores is the coach next season, which team do you think is the best fit for him? Because in all the guys who were really fired, I feel like he's the only one that would be right back coaching, to be honest.
You know what? Houston might be the best fit for him.
You think so?
Denver, no. Chicago, no. New York, no.
Oh, no, definitely not New York.
Yeah, LA.
I don't think New York's going to go back-to-back New England guys.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be.
Yeah. LA, Jacksonville. I don't see him. I think Houston might be the best fit for him, honestly.
To me, I mean,
but my thing is, who's going to want to coach for Houston?
No, that's what I'm saying. What guarantee do you have that Deshaun's going to play? So you may interview for the job, but who? To me, what do you guarantee? They just got rid of a coach after a year. What do you guarantee? To me, for him, I think the best place for him to go would be in Chicago. You got a Justin Fields. It's a hard-nosed town. He comes across like Ditka-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that would be the perfect place. I don't want him in the NFC though. I really don't. So, but if he is there, I think I think he would do well in Chicago. So that Bears shirt with that hat, I feel like, he would fit there. And they wouldn't mind the abrasiveness either, I don't think, in Chicago. They just want to win. They don't care. So you beat Green Bay once. All right, we're straight. Let's go.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Flores in Chicago. I don't know. I gotta think about that one a little bit more.
Yeah, but I just think like what's in Houston. I know everybody says Houston, well, because supposedly he liked Deshaun. Who didn't like Deshaun?
Right.
As a quarterback. So that's neither here nor there. What are the guarantees that he's going to play? Like you're not taking that job looking at Davis Mills as your future quarterback. You're taking that job wondering, are we able to either get something for Deshaun or are we keeping Deshaun? Period. And what are the guarantees? So, because if I'm there, like you said, they gave Cully a 2-year contract. No one ever gives a head coach a 2-year contract.
No.
It's 3, 4, 5. It's never 2.
No
set up. So, yeah. So whoever goes in there next is going to.
You still there? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, man. Anything else on these coaches?
No. I mean, none of them called timeout when they were trying to tie or something. But so, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Seeing as though they got rid of their head coach, still made the playoffs. I don't know what the rules are or if they got to interview people. Mm-hmm. Should the Raiders keep their interim head coach?
Absolutely not.
Yep.
No.
Oh, they like him.
That's nice. They need no offense, but they need a name coach there. They need a coach. They need we'll see Jim Harbaugh going to the Raiders. That's my prediction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh will be the coach of the Raiders very soon.
Do you think Flores would fit with the Raiders?
They're not going. I don't think they will hire Flores.
No, I don't think so either. I think they would want something more offensive.
They want a name. They want a name. And I think that's where Harbaugh is going because I think Harbaugh will be able to get the most out of David Carr.
Yeah. I think we've already seen the most out of David Carr. I don't think there's like this jump for him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's an adequate NFL quarterback. I don't think there's this extra level there.
All right. But I feel like David Carr is somebody Harbaugh could work with. I mean, when you compare it to the other situations, you know what I mean? Jacksonville, Houston, Chicago.
Jacksonville needs a coach. Forgot about Jacksonville.
Yeah. You take some of the QBs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe he might want to go and work with Trevor Lawrence, but the thing is, he's not going to that organization. That organization is a clown show. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, heck no. He's going to an established team. That dude's going to pick where he would never go to no Jacksonville.
That's what I'm saying. No, so basically what I'm saying is which team has the best QB situation, but you also got to think about what team would he go to. Well, you know what I'm saying? Would he go to? He's not going to go to New York. That QB situation sucks.
I don't think he can handle New York either.
I think he can handle it. I think he can handle it.
I think his personality, the way they would. But he was good up in Michigan. He was fine up in Michigan. Being in New York is a little different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just ask Joe Judge.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think Las Vegas, that's where he's going. So that's my guess. All right, man.
I think that'd be a good fit for him. So speaking of good fits, we called that Cincinnati Raiders game. Speaking of the Raiders, yesterday, it was a good game. Yeah. It was a really good game. I enjoyed it, except for certain people on that field with stripes.
Man, let me tell you, man, the refs ruined that game, man, for me. They really did. Come on, man. You got and Jerome. He's one of my favorite refs.
Yeah, I like Jerome, man.
I like Jerome. You know,
come on, Jerome. I mean, come on. That dude was straight hot garbage yesterday.
Yeah, normally he does a good job. That refereeing ruined the game. There was a drive where the Raiders were driving the whole drive, and they had 3 holding penalties on the same drive, dude. It's like, come on, y'all.
But even at the end, but let's not even talk about that blown whistle call. That whistle came late. The ball was already in the air, but I don't know what it was for. I don't even know what the whistle was for.
No. That whistle wasn't late, yo, because them players gave up on that play. You could tell those players gave up on that play, and that should not have been allowed, dude. Them players gave up on it. They heard the whistle and gave up.
But okay, he threw the ball already. Then the whistle went. Right? It wasn't like he was running and they blew the whistle like, okay, it's a dead play.
Okay, that might be the case, Hurt, but even when the ball's in the air, you know what I'm saying? A defender still has a chance to make a play on the ball.
I'm not disagreeing with you. My whole thing is like the whistle was late to me itself. What was the point A of the whistle? Why was it even blown? Then it was blown late. Then you allow it.
Yeah.
That had to be that's a do-over.
Yeah.
Regardless of if the guy was wide open or not, you blew a whistle. That needed to be do over. And then on that last drive, that roughing the passer.
Yeah, that was bad.
They didn't even hit his head. When Drew Brees went silent, Drew Brees was like, "Oh, it's a roughing passer," and he just stopped when he saw it.
Yeah,
it was like that's not.
But I can't honestly. I'm not going to blame the refs for that one, only because I think David Carr sold that really well. Because when you first see it, and when you see it,
they look at these things.
No, not dude. They don't look at replays on roughing the passer, yo. When you see that thing full speed and the way he cocked back his head, I could see them missing that one, okay? Because he hits him high. He doesn't hit him in his head, but he does hit him high, and he jerks his head back and he touches his helmet. So I could kind of see them missing that. I'll give him a little bit of a pass on that one, just a tad. Because I think David Carr sold it, only because I think he sold it so well. I thought he sold it so well. But the refs sucked last night, and I hate when people say, and I hate this is one of my worst takes on sports. Right? This is to me this is one of the worst takes. Referees don't affect the outcome of games. BS. Yes, they do. I hate the takes where, well, yeah, that was a bad call, but if Team X made this play earlier in the game, it wouldn't have mattered. No, that's irrelevant. Referees should not have any impact on the outcome of games, and too many times they do, and it just pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. Anyone who believes that they don't, to me, just don't understand sports because they absolutely referees do. And players shouldn't be expected to make up for refereeing mistakes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but human error is part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there's a difference between human error and a pattern of behavior. Okay.
Humans have patterns of behavior.
No. In other words, okay, I'll give you human error on one play, right? I'll give you a pass. But when I'm starting to see a pattern of bad calls, that's not an error. That's
not human.
It's human. It's not an error. That's a bad pattern of behavior. That's a practice. That's a habit.
No, it's a human.
It's not an error. That's a habit.
Gotcha.
Not a hobbit. A habit.
Gotcha. It's a human habit.
But all right, referees aside, what did you think of the gameplay?
I enjoyed that game. I really did. Both quarterbacks, I think, played well. I don't know. It was weird because I really went into that game. I mean, of course, it's an AFC game, so I don't have any care about it, as much as I would an NFC game.
Right.
Since I'm an NFC guy, but it was still just, it was like once somebody would score, come back down, somebody else would score. It was really just a back and forth game. The crowd was going crazy. The Icky Woods was there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. It was a fun game to watch. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
Besides, referees aside, Joe Burrow did well. Everybody, Chase is a beast. Those two are just ridiculous.
Can I just give teams a hint? Okay. If it's third down, make sure you have two people on Chase or something. Dude, how many first downs did Jamar Chase have last night? Good Lord, man.
Like 7? I mean, coverage, it was like a back shoulder throw like every time.
Dude. Man, but see, this is why when the draft came out, right? When last year's draft, and everybody was saying because Cincinnati's offensive line was so horrible, draft Penei Sewell, fix that offensive line. Screw that. I was saying no. If Jamar Chase is there, you draft him. Joe Burrow is, that's his boy. They had a connection in college. And I'm so glad. Well, I'm not glad they did because now we have to deal with it in my division. But to me, that just made so much sense. You draft that dude.
Well, if you don't draft a lineman, draft him weapons.
Right, because my thing, you just want to find a way to fix the line. You know what I mean? Like, you can. There are other rounds to draft offensive linemen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe not a generational one, but I mean the Ravens do this all the time. They draft 4th and 5th round draft picks that become good players, and then other teams pay them top dollar. Yeah. It happens all the time. So I'm glad I'm not glad, but they made the right decision in drafting Jamar Chase, and yeah, he's gonna give us problems for years now, man. But no, I felt good for the Cincinnati fans. I didn't realize it had been that long since they won a playoff game. I forget that they never won a playoff game under Marvin Lewis. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, dude, yeah. How could you forget? That was a stat of stats.
Yeah, I know.
Since 90 freaking 1.
Yeah.
Like sophomores or freshmen or whatever you are.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I will say this: the Raiders played a lot better than I expected them. They made it a game, and that's really all you can expect.
They could have tied it.
Yeah.
They could have tied it, but McCarthy threw that interception. That was it.
I thought they made a major mistake, dude. When they were, what was it like? When they converted the first down, the clock was running, and they were near the goal line, and they clocked the ball. I thought that was stupid. It was like 30 seconds. Like, why are you clocking the ball? You lose it down. Just get a playoff because you have enough time. You can.
No, there's definitely enough time where you can, if you complete a pass or even run the ball, to go up and clock it, and you got 15 seconds left.
Yeah, I'd rather have 4 chances because if you incomplete pass stops the clock.
Yeah.
They essentially had 3 shots, and 4th down, there was still 17 seconds left on the clock. Drew Brees was talking about you clock it here. Look, Drew Brees, I'm nobody to question you, but I'm up there thinking, why would you clock it here and lose it down?
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, why do
And
you?
you don't want to. Well, the thing is, you sometimes, I guess, from his standpoint or anybody's standpoint, quarterback standpoint, you clock it just so you have time to get into play calls. But usually and I don't know if it's substitutions or things that you may want to do. It could be something like that. I don't know.
But it's a 2-minute drill, so you know.
No, don't get me wrong. I get it, but maybe that's where he's coming from. Because to me, just if you have that much time, just keep going.
I totally disagree.
If you're moving the ball, keep going.
I want 4 shots at the end zone rather than 3. And my thing is, with 35 seconds, you don't clock that. I just couldn't believe he was doing that. But like I said, who am I to tell Drew Brees? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that was a great game, man. That was a really good game. They had a shot, but you know they made it a game, and that's all. Like I said, that's all you could really expect, man. But you know who didn't make it a game last night? I was right with the outcome, but boy, was I wrong with the analysis of this game, man.
Oh, well, I know I was wrong, but the key to this game, Bart Scott gave it, and I really believe that this is exactly what occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the stats. Cold weather games for your boy, Josh Allen. 3-2 in cold weather games. It was a winning record. 50.3 completion percentage. I mean, it was low. He struggled in the cold.
Right.
But Bart Scott gave everyone the key to cold weather games, and I'm pretty sure Buffalo took that to heart.
What was his key?
Viagra. You can't sit there and tell me Josh Allen didn't have great circulation in his hands. I mean, the dude was 21 to 25, 308 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Wait a minute. Well, I'm still on Viagra. What?
Yes, Bart Scott was on Friday on ESPN. Was like, what, people got cold weather game issues. He's like, Viagra. It get everything working right. Because I guess it helps the circulation and the blood flow. So it helps with your hands and feet, keep your feet and hands warm, blah, blah, blah. So and everybody was like, everybody stopped on the show and looked at it, was like, what? So
did Josh Allen admit to taking Viagra before the game?
No. First of all, why would he? Number one.
No, because you brought this up as a
No, I brought this up because the dude had a sensational game. So I was like, he probably listened to Bart Scott.
Oh, okay.
Struggled, that's all. Not that he actually did it. I don't know.
Dude. Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, 31 and 25, 308, 5 touchdowns. I mean, not only was this game not close, but this game was not close.
No.
I mean, this was not competitive at all.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer team.
Oh, dude, let me ask you this. If you're a former Miami Dolphins fan. But when you turn back to your home team, it was kind of before the whole Patriot became Patriot thing, right?
Right. But I will say this, like when I was a Dolphins fan, it was like Drew Bledsoe, man, used to kill us. I remember that. So
in this game, as a fan of a team in that division, right? You say Rudy and Dan. Who are you rooting for?
You asking me who was I rooting for last
No. Like if you're Rudy and Dan, who would you be rooting for?
I'd be rooting for Buffalo.
That's what I was thinking. But Dan was rooting for New England.
What?
Because he cannot stand Josh Allen.
Why?
Because Josh Allen was trash talking the Dolphin. He's, I guess, always giving Miami some kind of disrespect. And I said, how could you in your I don't know. I don't even know what word I use, but how could you not root for Buffalo? How could you ever root for New England? Period. For everything. Just because you dislike Josh Allen, don't you dislike the Patriots more? Because you beat them once a year? Like, I'm confused.
Like the Patriots killed that division for 20 years, and you rooting for the Patriots?
It's like the Eagles playing the Giants in a playoff game. I'm from New York. All my people from high school or friends on my Facebook page and everything else, I can't have them winning everything because it'd be all over my freaking timeline. So I would have to have Philadelphia beat them. I don't have a choice. I don't want to hear about it. That's why when I posted the other day.
Whoa. Wait up. So in New York, if the Eagles were playing the Giants in the playoffs, you're rooting for the Eagles?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Now,
well, you got to remember, being from New York and being a fan of a team in the division, you got to remember, they had a guy who broke my quarterback's leg.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So that's personal. Not only did that guy break the leg of my quarterback, the guy was rude to my mom. That same guy. So it's personal with me and that team.
Okay. All right.
So I'm never going to ever.
So, so this means on Super Bowl 35, were you rooting for the Ravens that day?
I think so. If it's like I said, there's certain situations I would root for the Crows anytime they play Dallas, and whatever situation that they may play somebody in my division. But even that Super Bowl with the Giants and Patriots, I actually was rooting for the Giants because the Patriots were just so 14 points. Okay, I still remember that. Yeah. And when they played the Eagles, I kind of was going for New England because I didn't want the Philly ever to have a Super Bowl.
You were going for New England that night.
Yeah, I never wanted Philly, but I didn't feel horrible that they won. They're still two behind us, but I didn't want them even to get started.
Yeah, we watched that Super Bowl together. I remember you because I was kind of like, dang, why is he? Yeah.
Dude, the dislike goes deep in this division, okay? But I can never root for New England. New England has run that division till what, this year? Last 2 years? Last 2 years.
Yeah.
Or that one season where they lost Brady blew out his knee or whatever. That's it.
I'm with you, man. I can't stand New England. That's my most hated team in football.
Yes. Because obviously, as we know through all this, you can't win anything without any fantasy stuff without Pittsburgh running backs. And you love Jamar Chase. So you love people in your division. And you said numerous times in this podcast, you're so happy to have them on the Bengals. So, next thing I'm going to hear something good about Cleveland. You might as well just love everybody in the division. Jeez, I don't even know. You don't ever hear me say that.
Well, I'm just so glad.
Blown out. So the final score was 47-17 Buffalo. But man, and it was like -7 with the wind chill. But they blew the roof off on that game.
Yeah, Josh Allen, man, he was great. I got to hand it to him.
Yeah, great. So we got 3 games today. The Philly-Tampa Bay game where we both picked Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco-Dallas where you picked San Fran?
No, I picked Dallas.
Okay, and I picked Dallas, but everybody knows who I'm rooting for. And the 8:15 game in Kansas City and Pittsburgh, we both picked KC.
Yes.
So we have that. I'm looking forward for the triple header. I'm not looking forward for the weather events we're going to have here in Maryland. But hopefully it's supposed to warm up later, so the snow would turn to rain. As long as it doesn't freeze overnight, I'm fine.
Do you know when it's supposed to start snowing, by the way?
Around supposedly 3-ish. So which means usually around 1 o'clock. Because, nothing ever starts here when it's supposed to.
Yeah. Darn it.
So, yeah. That's the fun of that. But, I'm looking forward to all 3 games. The Tampa Bay Philly, the first one at 1 o'clock. It's like 70-something degrees down there. I think it's going to be a fun game, though. I'm really going to feel like it's going to get 66 degrees. I'm going to enjoy it. I think all these games are going to be good. I really do. I think the KC one, only because and it's weird. I really feel like Pittsburgh, especially with Ben as quarterback, is a duct tape team. They've always somehow with some spittle, some paste, some tape, they seem to string things together in order to get to this point. And sometimes I just feel like none of the credit goes to the head coach, who's the sole black head coach in the league right now. So part of me roots for them because of him, but I definitely don't like the fans. So, but yeah, we have all those 3 games. So I'm looking for any one of these games you're looking forward to more than the other.
Yes, the first two, the first and the last one, I don't really care. It's the middle game that I think is going to be the most interesting game.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be on needles and pins. My mood for the rest of this week will be dictated by that game.
Yeah, please, San Fran, just end this because what's going to happen is, and you know this as well as I do, is if the Dallas wins, they're the dark horse. They could win it all. Please stop.
They were the dark horse. Remember, this is the same dark horse team at the beginning of the season that won with 2-0. I mean, they already had them in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I really need them to lose. I don't think they're going to lose today, but I really need them to lose today, man. I really do.
Well, we'll see. Knock on wood. We'll definitely see.
Yeah.
We got I think we covered everything.
Yeah, man.
Anything else you want to finish off with?
Well,
the Monday night game. We got the Monday night game too. Rams, Arizona. I picked Arizona.
Yeah, I picked.
I know. I changed it. I changed it to the Rams.
I know. I picked Arizona.
Yeah, and I changed it to the Rams because I like McVay. So, and this is the legacy of Matthew Stafford. But you picked 101, so we'll see. And I think that's going to be a fun game too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I still think it's ridiculous that they're playing on Monday night, but like I already talked about that yesterday, so I won't get into that. But we'll see. Yeah. Just remember, Matt Stafford does Matt Stafford things in big games, so we'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, there hasn't been in a lot of them, so we'll see how that works out.
But I will say this though. In all seriousness, I do commend him. He did have a great season, and he was definitely in the MVP conversation because he did make that team a better team. Point blank. He made it. He is so much better than Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not even funny. He makes that team a contender. Now we'll see if he has what it takes to get that team to the top. We'll see.
Definitely. So, all right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the games today. If you're in Maryland and in Northeast, everybody be safe. Stay inside. Get your salt. Order your pizza. Not when it's snowing, because this is mean. Don't do that to people. And, just be safe getting out there. Of course, you can follow us all day. We'll be tweeting on the good old Twitter machine, and then we'll be on Facebook and IG. As well as we're here on StreamYard and YouTube. Subscribe and like us and leave us messages, especially ones that we could read or in English would help if you are actually a real person. And also, you can follow us on Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you find podcasts. You will find our podcast, the NY to MD podcast. Everybody be safe, and we will see you on Saturday.
Peace out, y'all.